welcome. So I had this vision, so to speak, of doing a reading on the person connected to you, like just jumping straight into what's going on right now. It's almost like I'm feeling like there's something in your energy that's making you really wonder what is going on with them right now. So automatically I want to say that means you're in no contact with this person, but there's something about having a feeling that something's going on and not really understanding. So I just want to get a couple of cards to get the general gist of what this message is that you need to hear today, and we'll go from there. So what is this message that this collective needs to hear today, please? Lighthouse, number 7, guidance system, detour, safe passage, warning, obstacles, navigation, plot a course of action, use tact, and diplomacy. Number 13, the elephant, and number 19, the clock. Just heard takes time, in time heals all wounds. Gentle, lucid dreams. So you might be having some really full-on dreams. You might have been for the last few weeks and you've been wondering why. Your dreams have been becoming stronger. It might even be that you're becoming more attuned to your psychic abilities. But have your wits about you, powerful, wise, trust, telepathy, supportive, obstacles removed, which is interesting because this one's about obstacles and this one's about obstacles being removed. It's almost as well like it's a shift in energy. So say, for instance, there's something that you're picking up, an energy that you're picking up that's not your own, that's going on with someone whose energy is connected to yours. They've been going through something. They've had they've been hitting their head against a brick wall kind of thing. They've been facing a lot of obstacles, but it's almost like you can feel a shift, almost as if this obstacle has been lifted. And it's all been divinely timed this way. Clock, perfect timing. So I'm also hearing from that, it's like everything's right on time. Everything's happening exactly how it should. Everything's going according to plan. Everything is happening right on time. Origins, culmination. So a culmination of efforts from this person to overcome these obstacles has created this perfect timing. It's almost like there's a moment about to happen that's been orchestrated by the divine to lead up to this point. So that's why it's almost like you can feel something coming. Incremental, longevity, unstoppable, stand the test of time, past, present, future. So I think this is a past person energy. Let me just get one more, please. I'll confirm these actually. Number 11, whip. Arguments, fighting, abusive, tense, painful, doing it again, snapped over and over, kinky sex, anger, and repetitive. So it's almost like this past person that is in your energy, that you're getting these weird, like, something's just, there's been a mess that has to be cleaned up. Those cards just went everywhere. So there was a big mess around this person and it created a lot of, it created a detour, but at the same time, it's not, the detour was kind of divinely orchestrated too, because things needed to be learned, obstacles needed to be removed, but also there was lessons in the obstacles that had to be overcome. And a big part of that could have been arguments and fighting that was going on behind the scenes that you're not aware of. I'm really looking at anger and repetitive. So this person has been repeating a lot of cycles, but it's almost like they've had a light guiding them. Their angels have always been guiding them through this time so that they can remove these obstacles. But the 7th of November could be significant, or the 11th of July. There's something about them with this lighthouse, with this whip confirming the lighthouse. They've had some problems around fighting, abuse even, arguments, and they've been going through quite a painful transition, but they've been guided through the whole time with this lighthouse. It's been guiding. I'm hearing that Coldplay song, that Christmas Coldplay song, Lights will guide you home. Number 13, Elephant. The way that deck fell, it was literally like a perfect semicircle. Like when you get a deck of cards and you literally spread them with your hand like that, that's exactly how it fell. But this card really stuck out, the star. So something, and what did I just say about that song by Coldplay, Lights? I think it's called Christmas Lights, actually. And does that not look like Christmas lights to you with that massive star? There is something here about them being guided back to you. Almost like you're their lighthouse. You're the light that has been glowing, and it's like they could be in complete pitch dark, but there's a light that's always glowing off in the distance that they're walking towards. It's like the one guiding light that they have that they're walking towards, and that you're that light. Interesting. Okay. So that card that flew on the floor was the element of earth. So this is saying how things are stuck. And as well, when I'm looking at that elephant card, it's almost like, especially with obstacles, elephants are heavy. So I'm seeing this as like, and even that expression when you say you feel like an elephant is standing on your chest, it's that like you can't breathe. I think the obstacles that this person has been facing has almost made them feel like they can't breathe, like close to giving up. But through that, it's caused them to build themselves up. I think it's also grounded them. Especially if this person with this whip, they have a lot of chaos around them normally. There's a lot of hot-tempered people, chaos, arguments, that sort of thing. They're really appreciating or wanting to have a more peaceful, grounded, simple life. It's making them more dependable. Okay, number 19. But for things to be stuck, I think that's how this person's been feeling. This energy that you're picking up is like something's on the cusp of changing. It's almost like right when you're about to win, that's when they'll test you the most to see if you're willing to take that final step. Number 8, the beaver, things working against you. Exactly what I was saying. So it's almost like they feel like they've been battling this, they've had this uphill battle, and they feel like they're pushing this boulder up a hill, and it's like this hill's never ending. Am I ever going to get to the top? Is this ever going to get easier? It's almost like this last push that they're having to go through, because persistence pays off. And because you can't see that you're almost at the top of the hill, because you're pushing this boulder, you can't see that you're almost there. It's like they can't see they're almost there. They just have one last push. I'm hearing someone in labor when they're pushing out the baby, and they're like, one more push. And then, oh my God, this beautiful baby comes out. which is because there's new things on the new things are on the horizon. Repetition. So again, the perseverance and the persistence pays off. That repetition, or feeling like maybe they feel like they're on a hamster wheel where it's like Groundhog Day over and over again, and they're wanting more for themselves, but it feels like everything's going against them. But by continuing to push through, they're actually making their dreams a reality. They just don't realize that. But number 8, so the 19th of August could be significant. But Island on the bottom, foreign affairs, solo, isolation. So this person might have even gone into isolation to work on some things, gone into solitude to really do some self-reflection. And through that self-reflection, with you as their guiding light, they've realized how volatile they've let their life become, or how volatile it's always been, and they've actively been making choices to try and change that. And for them, this might be the biggest thing that they've ever had to do. They might have never even thought that they would change. You might have been the person that for the first person they ever met, that made them actually think, I don't want to be like this anymore. Separate, so like I said before, you're in no contact separation. Estranged, there we go. So through that, they're feeling lonely, but it's also creating independence, especially if they're kind of used to using people as well, or have never really known how to truly look after themselves and do things on their own. Because they've gone into solitude and they're only relying on themselves truly, it's making them grow up and learn how to, adult properly, pay your bills on time, clean your house, cook your own food, do your own laundry, like all that stuff where it's like they are learning their own independence, but they're protected through this. But the number 21, so I think there's been a lot of difficulties, and they're on the cusp of a big breakthrough, and it's all been divinely timed for this. You've been a divine light. I don't know why I said that, but it must be a reason. You have been this divine light that's been guiding them through this, in this separation. And the reason you're having this feeling of like, I feel like something's going on with this person. I don't know what it is, but there's something going on with them. And it's like you can feel your dreams are really weird and you're feeling like something's about to happen. It's because this person is on the precipice of a big change. They've got that one last push before life starts to get easier for them, and they start to see the benefits of the hard work that they're putting in. So let's get what's going on that you're not aware of. What is going on with this person connected to this collective, please? Court, uncovering evidence, getting exposed, cheating revealed. So as well, this person, especially with those, that card about whip being in arguments and tension and all that kind of stuff, they might have done some really self-destructive things and they were caught out for it. And then that caused them to go into solitude and really start to focus on things that they want to change about themselves. Yeah, knowing they fucked up, there you go. They know that they've messed up badly here. So I think as well, that's also why they would have looked at this like this uphill battle feels never ending. Like, can I really change? Can I really ever truly be happy? Can I get rid of these toxic behaviors that I've always clung to? The toxic people that I've clung to, the negative mindset that I've had that this is just the way things are and it's always going to be this way. It caused them to review all that, because whatever they were caught doing, uncovering evidence, getting exposed, cheating, they know, and even with you, however they treated you and what they did to you, they know that they've fucked up, like they're very aware of it. And I think that's why they've done, hater. So I think they have a hater around them right now. I just want to see if they're conscious of this. They might even have had awareness that this hater is part of the a part of what they have to let go of to move. It might even be that last push. Maybe they've got a best friend or something that is secretly a hater, and that's the one last thing, the one last step, that one last push that they have to get rid of this person, because that person's always going to drag them down or keep them stuck and stagnant in life. And that's the hardest push, because especially if they feel like this person is one of their closest people, but they're toxic. This toxic person that's connected to them is actually secretly their biggest hater. And their small-minded thinking, their opinions of things, their outlook on life is actually quite toxic. So if you are the company you keep, if your person's gone into solitude and they're having these realizations, it's like, well, if I keep this person around, I'm going to keep having that toxic energy seeping into me. And if I'm serious about changing myself and striving to be happy, I can't have that kind of energy, that kind of toxic behavior around me anymore. So that's good, that's positive. But this might be this last push, especially because it's the last row, this toxic hater that I think that they're kind of not, it's almost like they're not even blissfully ignorant about it. I think inside that they know that this is someone they have to let go of, but I think it's like, this is why it's the last push, because this is going to be a hard push to really release this person and move on from them. And that's what growth is. But copycat, I think this person as well, because for that to confirm court, I'm seeing someone being caught acting like, it's like they were impersonating someone. Getting a room, hotel, motel, suite, business, pleasure. So there is something here. I think this is about infidelity and even, doing drugs. I think this is very yucky energy that this person that you're connected to has been involved in. And I think they've been involved in this kind of behavior sporadically throughout their entire life. So for them to want to work on this and make some big changes as well to their actual core. So if they're quite a volatile person and they get angry, that's a big obstacle to overcome as well. But there's something here about getting exposed for cheating. And when that happened, they know that they fucked up. And then because of the haters and the toxic behavior that they were surrounding themselves with, I'm actually even seeing with that get a room, hotel, motel, suite, business, partner, pleasure, it's almost as if they were like caught out, sneaking around with someone. Like it was almost like they were set up. I'm seeing someone being set up. So this person they were sneaking around with told other people and set up a time with them to meet up at like a hotel or a motel or whatever for a hookup. And then there were actually other people there to catch them so that they were exposed. That's so... ugh. And drugs is definitely involved here. I think with everyone involved in this, not just your person, drugs were involved. But what you don't know is that they want to set the record straight. But you've got caution on the bottom. Let me just get one more for that. Falling apart, falling into pieces. Well, they definitely would if they've been involved in drugs and secret rendezvous, getting exposed and having toxic friends around them. Game over. I think when this happened, they knew that things had to change. It's almost like all this really gross stuff played out the way it did because it pushed them to reach this game over part of this story, to make them go into solitude so that they really had to sit back and reflect on their behavior and everything that they've done, all the bad choices they've made, are really like sitting in self-reflection. And then once you've done that self-reflection, what are you going to do to actually actively change those parts about you that create these toxic patterns? And part of that is letting go of people that you think you're close to but are actually toxic or secretly a hater of yours. It might even be that they know that this close friend is secretly a hater, but in their mind they're thinking, keep your friends close, your enemies closer. So it's almost like it was easy for them to keep this person around, knowing that they're not good for them, because that way they could keep an eye on them. But if you're truly getting rid of someone, they don't have access to you, so it doesn't matter what they're doing. I think it was more out of worry that this person knows too much and would expose them if they cut them off too. Ugh. I'm getting so many messages about this right now, and I'm not going to go through everything they're telling me, but it's just disgusting. And I think part of it will be this disgust that I'm feeling a lot of anger too. This disgust and anger I'm feeling, I think that's how they're feeling towards themselves. Like, if that's what's happened that you don't know about, that's embarrassing. It's shameful. And I'm not saying that in like in a nasty way where it's like, you can't grow and learn from it and be a better person, but it is disgusting behavior. It is gross, and it is something that you should be. It's not something that you would look back and go, yeah, I'm proud of that. You can look back and say, when that all happened, it was a big wake-up call. It's like when people say they hit rock bottom, and it causes them to turn their life around. So if you look at it that way, it can be like, yeah, that stuff's disgusting and I'm not proud of it, but it actually pushed me into this huge awakening and I turned my life around. So you can look at it positively like that. But I think that they've gone through a lot of awakenings over this. All right, so I want to see how they view you. How is this connected to you? Like, what has this got to do with you? What is this connection, please? But I think you're picking up on this energy of something. So, yeah, see, chaos. They've had nothing but chaos in their life, and they've done nothing but feed the chaos. And I think before meeting you, they had no desire to change. This is who I am. This is the way. And they might have even been that way with you. But in time apart, this time of no contact, they obviously went full gangbusters into this type of behavior because they thought, they dug their heels in about, I'm not going to change, this is just the way I am, to these lessons really waking them up to themselves. Like, I don't want chaos in my life anymore. I want peace. I want stability. I want love and happiness. But I think they brought nothing but chaos to your life and caused you to spiral even. But incoming communication. So they're planning on communicating to you, but let's just get some more on what this connection is. I don't chase, I attract. So I think this is them and this is you. You're in I don't chase, I attract. They're the ones that are coming from a chaotic situation. there's a lot of secrets here. And I think this incoming communication will be to talk about, I'm hearing confession. They have a lot of things to confess to you. I'll get more into it. We'll break it down because I don't want you to panic and be like, well, I don't want to hear a confession. I'd rather just not hear from them at all. But I don't know why I'm feeling called to say it's not as bad as you think it is. But if someone's built it up in their head so much, they've been scared to come forward. But there's obviously secrets around this chaos that's been going on behind the scenes that you're not aware of, that they want to discuss, and how it connects to you, as in how all this stuff led them back to you because they realize how disgusting it was and how disgusting other people were in comparison, especially if they made you out to be the toxic one. And then after you, everything they did was way more toxic than you ever did. Does that make sense? Acceptance. So for incoming communication to be confirmed by acceptance, I'm seeing someone finally being ready to reach out, even if they're nervous, accepting the fact that they're never going to feel like there's a right time specifically, that they're just going to want to reach out. And it's like this moment of clarity where it's like, okay, I'm just going to take my chance and reach out. And they've accepted that instead of so they've been going over the breakup with you. But for that to confirm, I don't chase, I attract. I think you were heavily affected by this breakup. And this person, although they might understand to a degree that how badly they hurt you, I think if you've been in no contact and this has been a long separation, they don't know how bad a state you were in when this ended and how hard you had to work to get yourself back. But in the 5D, you've been communicating, which explains why your dreams have been so crazy right now. But you got married on the bottom. So I think marriage was promised here in the past, but as well, for that to be the last row, I think this is a future prediction, which is why your dreams are going so crazy right now. Let's get one more for that. But this connection is obviously two more. So in denial, I think you're in denial, but I think as well for a long time, they tried to be in denial about how much passion they had towards you, or tried to convince themselves that, it's just that I'm really attracted to them. And I'm also hearing people around them trying to minimize the connection you had. Haters of you, haters of them, haters of your connection, didn't serve them. So they would try to convince or help your person stay in denial about how passionate this relationship, this connection actually is. And how hot and cold they were with you. I just want to get one more. But 3, 2, 1 action. So this person's coming in soon to break no contact. So this incoming communication is going to come in soon. I will get a timing card in a bit, but this 3, 2, 1 action, like I said, this person is going from hiding in the shadows and being too scared to reach out because they know that they have a lot of things they have to confess to you that are shameful, to suddenly going, I just have to do it because I don't want to sit in the what if anymore. So they're about to break no contact. So I want to see how you are going to feel about these confessions. But first I want to get an animal card for what their current energy is. What is this person connected to the collective's current energy, please? Bear, that's good. And that also to me represents them coming out of hibernation. 3, 2, 1 action, incoming communication. They're about to come out of their cave of solitude and reach out to you. But interestingly, before I saw a card had fallen off the top of the deck and I was like, that's weird. And it was double crossed. And I was like, I wonder if I should do a reading about that. And it said you may face betrayal or being double crossed. So I just remembered that. And that I feel like ties into that, what you don't know has gone on in the background. All right, so let me get the bear. Yeah, so waking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. So to have a new beginning with you, they have to just take that leap of faith and break this no communication, no contact. Inner strength. Inner strength, yearning to grow. I think that's what they've been doing. They've been growing, and they actually have a yearning to grow. It's not something they feel like they've been forced to do. They actually are sick of the chaos and the disgusting behavior and the toxic patterns and the toxic people. The desire to grow is stronger than wanting to stay in what you know is what is comfortable for them. I think they've been, because when out of balance, withdrawal, lethargy and heaviness, I think they've been sitting in that withdrawal and heaviness for a while they've been in solitude. But I'm hearing rest and recuperate. So it's like they had to gain their strength again, find their sense of self again. And as well, they could have been heavily working on their physical body, so going to the gym, doing a lot of physical things to try and clear their head. And also, if they're working on their physical body, it's helping them to get some confidence back and feel healthy, like internally, because it clears your mind. It makes you also very conscious of everything you put into your body. Drinking, food, everything. So I think that they've taken a path of sobriety through this to really shred all the toxicity outside, like externally and internally. But what's sticking out to me is the bear represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. And that is why you're feeling this feeling of like, why do I feel like something's about to happen? And you don't know if it's good or bad. You can just feel this energy of it. The warmth of spring emerges and your transformation begins. So for this to be them, I think they've gone through quite a tricky transformation. It's been full of a lot of obstacles, but they're the bear. They're strong, they're resilient, they're protective, they're strong, they're powerful. They always had the inner strength to make these changes. They just had to basically be pushed into these stupid situations to force them to go into solitude and then reflect and then see they've had the power all along. I'm just hearing the Wizard of Oz when she gets to the end and she taps the red ruby slippers together 3 times and says there's no place like home. She had the power all along. She's wearing the red ruby slippers the whole movie, but it's not till she gets to the end when she finds out that she could have gone home the whole time. She just didn't see it. This is the same thing. They always had the strength. They're very powerful. They just didn't see themselves as powerful. They didn't know they had the capacity to change, and now they do. So that's very nice. That's their current energy. So no wonder they're ready to break no contact, and this incoming communication is like they're ready. And that wolf too in that picture, I don't know where it was, but the wolf is that 3, 2, 1 action card, and he's in the snow. So I'm also seeing that as in like those animals that go into hibernation during the winter and then they come out. It's like he's ready to come out of his cave. Okay, so I want to see what your current energy is, what your angels, what the universe thinks your current energy is. Octopus and raccoon. All right, let me find the pages. Okay, so the raccoon is talented, shadowy, and in hiding. So you actually might also have been going into solitude a lot lately, but with that talented, I'm kind of seeing you as someone who puts yourself out there, but you still actually really enjoy your own company. You're not afraid to be alone. You can actually sit with yourself. But raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness. Oh my God. Skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. So maybe you're kind of battling your own self-confidence right now. Maybe you're actually mirroring each other. So if you're feeling if you're battling your own self-confidence right now, if you're not feeling very attractive right now and you're just doubting yourself, you're mirroring them as well, especially if you're picking up this energy so strongly. If they're really trying to work on being self-assured, being that powerful bear, you're also kind of, it's testing your self-confidence here as well. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? So as well, if you're something that puts out if you're someone that puts out content, you might have what's called imposter syndrome, and usually you feel that way if you're not confident about what you're saying, or you are worried that people are going to think that you don't know what you're talking about. What if I'm ready to grow into something more? Maybe you want to do more than what you've been doing, but you're not sure yet. Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. So again, I think you're both working on self-confidence right now. When in balance, generous friend, exceptional artist. When out of balance, competitive and starving artist. To bring into balance, make new work. All right, so octopus. Okay, so the octopus is reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. So I think this really ties into this raccoon energy, but also you could have heavy hearth. What is going on? I'm getting so tongue twisted lately. I feel like I've had so many collectives lately where someone's on the verge of coming towards you, like breaking no contact and reaching out. And in every reading I'm doing like that, I'm getting tongue-tied. And it's really making me think that this person has so much to say that they're going to trip over their words a lot. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. I think as well with that deck before this, with what this connection was very chaotic, that it could have been quite a messy relationship, very up and down. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. So you might have been a bit of an oversharer too. They believe that it's what it meant. Struggle town, getting my words out. Mercury retrograde too, there you go, communication issues. They believe that's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. When in balance, interested, engaged, intelligent. When out of balance, needy, clingy, lacks courage. To bring into balance, space to oneself, talk therapy. So again, I think you're okay with space to yourself. I'm getting the idea that you don't mind your own company. It's more that needy, clingy, lacking courage might have been your old energy, especially if that relationship was so chaotic. It created this insecurity in you that made you clingy, that made you a nervous, needy person. But I think that's what's being tested for you right now. I think you actually are someone that's quite self-assured and has strong boundaries and can set those boundaries and stick to them. But it's being tested right now. You're feeling insecure. And it's also because you're picking up their energy. They're feeling insecure too. So that's your current energy. And the other thing, I don't yawn all day and then I come on here and do a reading and I just start yawning. So I don't know what that's about. All right, so let's see what's coming for this connection. What's coming in the next month for this connection? Spy. So they're spying on you, which I'm not surprised. Just like how I'm getting tongue-tied in so many readings at the moment, spies coming out nearly every time. Someone's got their eye on you, you were doing your research. I feel like they are trying to it's part of them being in the shadows, but they're pretty much on the cusp of coming to you, reaching out. Gambling, problems with addiction or gambling, bad finances as well. For that secrets card to come out under chaos, I think especially doing drugs and getting caught out for cheating and toxic behavior, haters, all that really gross energy is part of the secrets that they want to reveal to you. And maybe gambling's part of that. Or maybe the person that is, I mentioned a best friend earlier, that perhaps there's a toxic best friend that they need to cut off, and that's the last push, the last hurdle that they're on right now before coming forward to you. They could have been this influence. I just heard as well, for whatever reason, the yawning is almost making me feel like someone's trying to stop me from getting this message out. And I know that sounds very woo-woo, but if you do believe in energy, that is very, it's not out of the realm of possibility that people's spirit teams can try to affect certain messages getting out or try to stop them getting out. And I keep getting that message again that I was getting a lot in my reading yesterday about a private profile. So this person is heavily in your energy spying, but there's something about bad finances here. And because I felt the need to mention this best friend, I think they're the influence too. Drugs, gambling, any kind of addictions, but caution, find out more information, but don't overwork yourself. So when this person comes forward, you have every right to question things, especially if they're coming to reveal all these secrets to you, which would be very daunting and kind of overwhelming. It might also trigger you, especially if, because even how I got so angry and disgusted by what's been going on in the background, that might even be how you're going to feel hearing them talk. And I'm not saying that you're not allowed to, but it's almost like that's why they had to go into solitude and realize that, yeah, I am disgusted with myself and I am ashamed of my behavior. But that's what pushed me to grow. And that might even be part of what they want to say to you, that I know that that person that did those things is not who I want to be. They might ask you for grace to allow them time to keep growing and to show you that they are actively changing. But you might need time. And it might take multiple conversations for things to fully come out. Especially if this person has so much to say and they're going to get tongue-tied. It might be like a big conversation. Excuse me, but then in future conversations, when you start thinking of things you want to ask them and kind of fact-checking what they're telling you, you might get more and more information out of them. And I don't think it's coming from a place of them trying to keep it from you. I just think that there's so much they want to say that then when you have questions over time and they come up, it will remind them of bits that they've missed. But that could be a trigger for you, especially if they brought chaos to the connection in the past and you're just thinking, how much don't I know? How much are you keeping from me? Because every time I ask a question, there is more to tell me that you didn't tell me the first time. But again, they're going to be asking you for grace to give them time to show you the changes and for them to show you that they are actively making changes too. Yeah, someone is still figuring themselves out. So for that to confirm spy, to me, that just confirms what I said before about the reason that they've been in the shadows is because they've been working on themselves. This person might be very tired. You might be very tired. Far out, man. Anyway, they've been trying to figure themselves out. Figure out how to change, what they need to change, why they've been doing the things they've been doing, and then how to be better, and then figuring out how to come towards you. So that's why they've been spying, because they weren't ready to come forward yet. And with everything that went on that you're not aware of yet, that would have taken a lot of work, especially if that's the kind of behaviour they've always been in the middle of. They were always kind of chaotic and self-destructive, so that's not something that you can fix overnight. You're going to keep having multiple realizations and light bulb moments, and then after you have those, what do I need to do to change those? And then once you figure that out, making the change and integrating it. All right, rambling. So yeah, they're still figuring themselves out, but I think they're going to be reaching out very soon. Honeymoon, but I'm seeing that as distance, but also it could be that I just heard finances when it comes to coming to see you. So that also might be playing into it as well. Something about, just as well, because I'm seeing that plane, it's like something about money and what they can offer you, which might not be much right now. I'm seeing that card where it's like I'm getting my finance, I've made some bad decisions, I'm getting my finances in order. Caution, find out more information, don't overwork yourself. Intimacy, sexual chemistry, reminiscing. So I'm seeing this as, for this to be what's coming in the next month in regards to this connection, I think this person is going to take the gamble to come towards you. That's what I'm seeing this role as. I'm getting really frustrated with this yawning because I was fine before. Okay. With the caution card being confirmed with intimacy, I think this is them saying, don't be quick to become intimate with this person, especially if there is a lot of chemistry and passion. You got passion in that deck. It's like you have this chemical reaction to each other. It's like this magnetic pull. You just like want each other. Just take it slow. Allow things to be revealed to you and also to get over them, because I'm seeing someone jumping into bed with their person too quickly and then finding out things that trigger them after that fact, and then being mad at themselves that they gave their body to this person too soon, because then it's like you've slept together and then you're finding out more stuff after that, and then you're going to feel tricked. But I don't think it's this person's intention to trick you. I just think there's so much that's happened in this separation that everything's not going to come out all at once. But gold digger on the bottom, so them being used by the people in their life. And I'm also hearing the people around them were getting in their ear about how, making it out like you used them, like you were controlling and you were manipulative. And that could have even been part of the separation too, why they left, because they had people in their ear convincing them that you were actually using them and that you are a gold digger and that you, I just heard you cost, I'm hearing someone saying to your person that you're too expensive for them, as if you were too high maintenance, and your person used that against you. Not nice. Very manipulative. And it's actually, in fact, that person that uses your person for money. They're the gold digger. That's projection. That's not being like, oh, I'm concerned that you're with someone that is too high maintenance. It's because they're high maintenance. They saw you as a threat. So that's an obstacle. That's a big obstacle too. Just take things slow is what I was trying to get at. Okay, so I want to get this person's intentions towards you. This one, yeah. Okay. What is this person's intentions towards the collective, please? Okay. So Mountain of Mastery I think is good, and Rough Road. They know. The song is called Devotion. This person, hopelessly devoted to you. Do you like Grease? Maybe you like Grease because of Devotion. It wasn't even the Grease song, but as soon as I saw Devotion, it put that hopelessly devoted to you from Grease. I'm hopelessly devoted to... Anyway, maybe you like Grease. So first two cards were Mountain of Mastery and Rough Road. I think this person's intentions to you are pure. They know that they have a mountain to climb at when it comes to getting it back into your good graces, especially with a lot of shame, guilt, remorse, regret in their energy. I think they went through a lot of self-realizations, and it's also making them realize that to climb this mountain, there is a rough road ahead of them. But I think that for these two to come out, I actually think this is really nice, because even though it's a lot of work to climb a mountain and a rough road doesn't sound nice, it sounds like a long journey, but it's almost like their life up until now has been rough and it hasn't made them happy. So they may as well, for their intention to be like, I'm ready to walk this rough road. But they want to be prepared so that they come in with a lot of consideration, especially, and a lot of patience for you to need time. Does that make sense? So this Mountain of Mastery, they want to reach the top of that mountain with you, and they're ready to face the road ahead, the rough road, to make that happen. Because the life that they have now anyway they may as well do the hard yards and have happiness at the end of the road with you than just continue this miserable behavior. So I think that's really nice. That actually to me shows a lot of tenacity. Someone that is like, I'm ready to put in the work. Put me to work, boss, because I want this. This is my end goal. That's what I want. Tell me what I need to do. Immediately when I said, tell me what you need me to do, I thought they need to take some initiative too. I think they will, but it will have to be a team effort of them taking initiative and showing you through action. But then also when things come up or triggers, you have to be able to express yourself to them in a way that you can both work on it together and keep moving forward together. Does that make sense? Okay, is there intention towards you? But this, I think that's really nice. Okay, going forward. So for that to come out after Rough Road is really good. They don't want to dwell on the past, and that's not me saying they're not willing to talk it out and soothe your soul continually for however long it takes, this rough road, this climbing the mountain, till you don't need that reassurance anymore. But they are focusing on a brighter future. They know that the road ahead of them is going to be rough, and they're going to have to work hard to get to the top of that mountain, but they can see a bright future at the top of that mountain, and you are part of that. You're that lighthouse, remember? You're the light at the end of the tunnel. They see a bright future with you, so they want to focus on creating that brighter future, and part of focusing on that future is allowing you to discuss the things that hurt you and allowing you that time and space to get that off your chest as much as you need to until you are fully able to let it go and not be constantly shut down by this person. I think they're kind of aware. They see you as their future and they want to focus on the bright future ahead. But they know that this rough road will be having to face challenges with you to get to that bright future. They're not going to just try and skip over all this pain and damage they caused you just to get to that bright future, because then it won't actually be a bright future. There'll still be all this resentment and baggage built up. It needs to be dealt with, and I think they know that. So I think their intentions are very noble here. River of release. So when they get to the top of this mountain and all the baggage that has led you guys to this point and all the work you put in to get to the top of this mountain together, mastering this mountain together, you'll be able to release. And I think there'll be slow releases on this road to recovery. You'll find that once you get to the top of the mountain that you've actually been slowly forgiving and letting things go along this journey. One last move. And that's reminding me of how I said in the very beginning of this, that this person has one last push before they can come forward. It's this one last thing that they have to just cut ties, let go of. They have come so far on their journey. Keep going and you will soon see what you have accomplished. And I'm also seeing this rough road as the rough road they've been on their entire life. It's one more step, just one more step and you'll be there. They'll be there. Going forward. I was surprised that someone is in the middle. Someone is trying to sabotage. This didn't come out. Shield of resilience. So this person is also going to have resilience and guarding not just themselves over external pressures, but the connection, especially if they've let people speak badly of you in the past connection, but then also even since the separation, if they've let people talk ill of you. They need to protect this connection. They need to protect you. And that is going to include protecting this connection from external forces while simultaneously nurturing you and the connection and themselves. But this is for love and career. But they're in a desert of isolation right now. Traverse the desolate spaces of solitude to recover reflections and resilient survival. So through their resilience and determination, they're just about to reach that pivotal moment where they are ready to reach out, which is why you got incoming communication. I think as well, they know that they're going to need to not just need to protect you, but they actually have an innate desire to protect you. They want to protect you and your innocence, I just heard. But as well, even when they got bear, I immediately heard protective. When I saw that bear, I thought, oh, they want to protect you, almost like you're their cub. You know what I mean? Okay. So for that to be their intentions towards you, very pure, very honourable, I think that's good. Okay, so let's get a bit more information on this last hurdle of theirs. This last hurdle. Inner circle. So I was right. It's their inner circle. That's the last thing. That's the last step that they're kind of clinging to. That is the last push before it's that one last step they have to take. Someone from their inner circle. That is why I felt called to say best friend. It's someone that they hold dear, that is secretly a hater, and that's the one thing that's really, it's that last step that's, once they overcome that obstacle, they'll be free and they can come towards you. Gossip. Rumors are spreading quickly. And this could be around this friendship. Maybe the disintegration of this friendship has already begun and it's creating rumors and gossip. But I'm also hearing rumors and gossip around you. And that again is reminding me that they need to protect you from external forces that negatively impact your connection. And I think this person in their inner circle is part of that. I don't think this person likes that your person loves you so much, because then they think that you have all the power. And that also might have been a way to manipulate your person in the past, to be like, she has too much power over you. She manipulates you. They could have even spread gossip behind your person's back and your person never even knew that. but they're overthinking. So I think they need to clear this inner circle, and they need to get out of their own head, because it's creating negative emotions and it's getting them all tangled up, and that's also blocking them. So those are the two things that they need to push past. I've got my eyes on you, you're everything I see. We're Going Home by Drake is such a good one for this, because it's like, it's so close. It's really about to happen. I think they're overthinking things right now, especially if they're spying, which they are. And there's a lot about gossip and their inner circle that has to be cleared away. And when the dust settles from that, they will be free. Only they can set themselves free. But on the bottom, public exposure. So this person was definitely exposed, and there might have even been a lot of details of your relationship that was publicly exposed, very private things that were exposed, and that might even be part of the confession that will really upset you, especially if you've been very loyal to this person, and you couldn't imagine them having done that. But if there was gossip and rumors around your connection with this person, and then private matters to do with your connection was exposed, that could also be a big trigger point for you that makes you want to have nothing to do with them anymore. And I think that's also why they're overthinking, because they know that when they reveal this stuff to you, that they could potentially really lose you for good. But also even if it wasn't your private matters that have been exposed, them being exposed for stupid, gross, disgusting stuff might make you not want them either. But again, they're just going to take the risk because they see you as their bright future. But they just have to get past this, letting go of these family and friends that have too much power over them. Okay, so no, that's from there. Let's get some advice. What is your advice, please, angels, for this connection and incoming communication? Number 8. I'm going through a dark night of the soul. Nothing in my life is making sense. And also, they have to go through that alone, just like you did. You didn't have anyone helping you when you went through your dark night of the soul. It's something that they have to go through on their own. Number 4, my inner child was wounded when my parents wouldn't respond to me the way I needed them to. I'm reacting from that wound, and that is also why they have done the things they've done up till now, because they're reacting out of a wound that their parents caused. And you copped the backlash from that, when really it was that backlash is owed to the parents, not to you. But for whatever reason, whatever you did triggered them, and whatever they did triggered you, and it triggered those wounds that were caused by your family, not by each other. But they caused you some severe wounding. Okay. Number 10, all about growth, and that's good because that's also the end of a cycle, closing a chapter. I think that's what they're doing right now. I'm going through physical and emotional ascension symptoms. Dark night of the soul. I need space to rest, but from a higher perspective, I'm releasing old energy. They need to release this old energy and these people. Number 11, so the 8th of November or the 11th of August. I'm seeing synchronicities like your name or 1111 and working out what they mean. Number 1, so the 4th of January or the 1st of April, karmic ties. I'm not happy. They're not happy where they are. Karma, behaviors, people, and or situations is playing a role in what's happening with me, and it's hard for me to see a way out. The karmic ties are this inner circle, family and friends. And I want to say these karmic ties are family. Parents specifically, a mother and a father. The wounds that these mother and father have created in your person are these karmic ties that they need to sever. And I'm not saying that because they need to, completely cut off their family. But a lot of people do that. A lot of people have to go no contact with their family because they just it's for their own sanity, but also because if they're trying to build their own life and they want to be happy and those people have done nothing but cause wounding, that's what people do sometimes. But again, I'm not saying that they have to completely cut off their family, but there needs to be some like very strong boundaries here if they're going to be protecting you from external forces, because obviously these parents are part of the problem here. And they're not happy about it. I think they're aware it's an issue that needs to be dealt with, but at the moment they're struggling to see how they can get out of it. They're going over the ways that karma has hit them in the face for how they treated you, even in all the things that they've done since you, that has been their karma. They're not happy about it. But they're taking I think they're taking responsibility. They're not blaming others like they maybe used to. Like everything happens to them, but it's like you're doing it to yourself. 11:11. So that might be something you see a lot of. They might see a lot 11:11. Well, they are, because they're seeing the synchronicities. But the next solstice or equinox will bring an important shift for us. So look up what that is. But draw another card to get an idea into what that shift might be. But 10th of November and the 11th of October are important dates as well. Number 10. So 10:10 and 11:11 are important numbers. Union. So when it said draw another card to get an idea of what this shift might be, at the next solstice or equinox, union. I told you it's very soon. It's coming in very soon. We must remember that we are gods and goddesses and work to embody that energy. Another 10 on the bottom, 10, 10, 10. That's very important. I think that's why this is coming in very soon, because this person is on the cusp of completing they have this one last push. They're so close to the end. They're so close to completing this chapter. I always felt I had a higher calling in life, and our connection brings me more clarity on it. Okay. But maybe mark, I don't know, the 11th of August. Maybe that's the next equinox or solstice. I have no idea. I'll have to look it up too. Okay. Just get this person's next actions towards you, and then I'll get a timing card. What's this person's next actions towards you? Love call. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. On the bottom, the phoenix. This person is a phoenix rising from the ashes. New phase, rekindle this connection. Renew, transformation. Transformation's been big for this person. Growth, changed mind. They've had a lot of growth and it has changed their mind. It's not because I think that they ever stopped loving you or that you were ever far from their mind, but they heavily went into every reason why this wouldn't work, why they probably blamed you for a lot of things because they weren't taking responsibility for the damage that they caused and the misplaced anger that wasn't for you, it was for their parents, and that's what they've been reflecting on, and their behaviours. So they've gone through a lot of growth. Right, before I get a timing card, I'll just grab some messages. What do they want to say to you in this love call, eh? Let's do a bit of a peek. I don't care what people think anymore. There you go. They were too influenced by their inner circle. Parents, friend. I've been given bad advice. I'm listening to my intuition. I know you're the other one. Remember where I said I'm seeing someone going, they're too expensive for you, when really they're the gold digger. They're the ones that use your person for money. They're not listening to that anymore. They're not listening to whoever that person was anymore, or their advice. Especially if it's a parent. Say their parents aren't together anymore and the mum and the dad have a tumultuous relationship and the mum's the one giving them bad advice. Like you should give advice. Look at the state of your relationship. All right. I'm tired of the silent treatment. I want to sit down and talk about this once and for all. I'm starting to panic. It's been so long since I've seen you or heard your voice. Crap, what was the name? It's left my mind. What was the name of the song? Anyway, that was the lyrics. So it is the last time they're going to let someone steal their peace. I think they are going to be, that bear energy, very protective of this connection and of you and of external influences. I don't think they're going to be influences anymore on your person. And that's part of growing up too. Having courage of conviction and standing by what you value, stuff what anyone else thinks. Okay, so timing oracle, here we go. Can we get a timing card for this incoming communication, please? More than a year and take a break. I think that it's taken, I think you two have been apart for more than a year. I think as well, I just saw in this picture, I've never noticed that before, north and east. So maybe you live in the north and they live in the east or something. I don't know why that stood out to me. But I think you've been, I think this is more, when it says stop waiting, it's more like they're not going to give me like, this is specifically the day, the time that they're going, this incoming call is, and you can jot it down in your diary. So they're just being like, stop waiting because this will happen when it's supposed to, when you least expect it. So they don't want to give me a time. I just think that you have been in separation and no contact with this person for well over a year. It's been more than a year. And I think this take a break is reflecting the fact that you two needed the space. They had to go through these trials and tribulations. They had to. Otherwise, they were never going to learn. But stop waiting for this incoming communication. I know that's silly after I've just done this whole reading, but it's going to come in when you least expect it. So just, let that just ease your mind for now. Okay. So, and also look up the next solstice and equinox and see when that is, because that was the key to when union will happen. All right, let's get a closing message for you. What is your divine door to close off this reading? A moment's joy, beautiful. That's the door. A moment's joy, sand through the hourglass, yet time could stand still. A moment lasts forever in the bliss of heart's will. So when you two do reunite, think of it this way. If you, the number 42 could be important here too. If you think of the separation as a blip of time, it's a grain of sand in the hourglass of your life. This sounds very Days of Our Lives. These are the days of our lives. Just like sand through the hourglass. I'm losing it. Okay, so imagine that this blip of time, this separation, these lessons that had to be learned, it's just one grain of sand in this hourglass that is your life. So 20 years from now, when you two have been happily married for many years, have little bubbies running around, this will be such a small chapter, a very important pivotal chapter that helped you two grow, but it's your past. It will be your past, not your future. A moment's joy, sand through the hourglass, yet time could stand still. So this time apart has felt like it's dragged, but a moment lasts forever. This moment that you reunite, you come into union in the bliss of the heart's will. So your will is to always come back to each other. You have each other's heart. Just allow things to come in naturally. Don't dwell on it too much. But yeah, that's today's reading. So yeah, have a good night.